what a difference. Just got done with a race on the dirt bike yesterday, and it feels good to get back out on this bike and cruise. Take things nice and easy. My brother, what a champion. Although it seems kind of ridiculous to say I'm going to take things nice and easy on a 150 horsepower Italian super sport. Sorry, let me rephrase that. 150 horsepower pair of Italian dad jeans. As you guys have seen, I've been editing some lost footage from last year's trip to California that Jessica and I took, and it's really making me kind of miss having a cruiser. Makes me miss the Rocket 3, and believe it or not, it makes me miss that big old Harley Davidson Road Glide too. You know, I made that video talking crap about it, but I always make a video talking crap about stuff. Trust me, I got a video talking crap about the Ducati that I'm going to put out too. You get more than enough videos of people saying nice things about motorcycles. I like to say all the bad stuff I think about them. If you want nice stuff, hey, dime a dozen, knock yourself out. There's a million glowing, sucking dick, this is the best motorcycle ever made reviews anywhere you want them on YouTube. It's a little harder to find the ones that point out the negative stuff, so that's what I always do. Man, so many people got their panties in a bunch over my Road Glide review. And I use big quotation marks when I say review. I am by no means a professional bike reviewer. I stated that in the video. I'm just a dude who's able to point out the things that I don't like about a motorcycle. And apparently there's a lot of people who cannot separate criticism of a motorcycle that they happen to enjoy from criticism of them as a person. Personally, I've never been that wrapped up into something that I didn't physically create with my own hands. I could see if it was a painting or a piece of art or a video that I personally created that someone was just hypercritical of, you know, at that point, maybe I would say something, I would be upset. Maybe I would be upset at that point. Maybe the engineers who designed the Road Glide, if they commented on that video and they were upset with how I talked about it, I would go, you know what, you got every right to be upset because you physically designed this motorcycle. As far as everybody else, holy shit. Take a step back and chill the fuck out. I didn't come over to your house and kick your dog. All I did was point out a few flaws in a motorcycle that I literally had 2 days experience on. And that doesn't even mean I didn't like the motorcycle. Like I said in the review and multiple other videos, I actually love the Road Glide. I plan on renting it again next time we go to California. It was a great motorcycle. I'm just the type of dude who likes to point out the things I don't like. I've always been like that, especially when it comes to something that's incredibly expensive. I don't know, maybe it's just people who own one and just desperately need to justify the purchase price of a motorcycle. I really don't know, and honestly, I really don't give a fuck. If you're the type of person whose sense of self is intrinsically tied to a machine that you did not create, but you only purchased, you're probably not the type of person I want to associate with anyway. And again, I hate that I feel like I need to clarify this, but just because I miss cruisers today, and just because I'm making a video talking shit about the bike I'm currently on, that doesn't mean I hate the Ducati Multistrada. I fucking love this bike. Like, why is that such a hard concept for people to understand? Being critical. It just flies so far over some people's heads that you could possibly be critical of something that you enjoy. I really baffles me sometimes.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
This final thought is brought to you today by dead GoPro batteries. So just to finish up that whole thought I was getting into real quick, this is what brought about the whole "your motorcycle sucks" thing that I do on the channel a lot. This isn't me being an expert. I am far from an expert on motorcycles. What I am an expert on is what I like and what I don't like. And I think everybody should at least be an expert on what they like and what they don't like. For me, it's just boring to get on a motorcycle and just gush over every little thing I love about it. It doesn't interest me. What I want to do is I want to pick it apart. I want to look for the flaws. I want to look for the reasons that I don't like it. And if afterwards I still enjoy it so much that outweighs all those little niggling things that I hated about it in the first place, then to me, that's a good motorcycle. And most motorcycles I've had have done that. Yes, I found a bunch of flaws in the Road Glide. I found a bunch of flaws in the Ducati Multistrada. I found lots and lots and lots of flaws in the Triumph Rocket 3. Believe me. But the things I love about those motorcycles still outweigh the things that I hate about them. I don't know. That's just me. And if that hurts your fucking feelings, I really don't know what to tell you, man.
We now return to the Transformers.
Speaking of bikes that suck, we came over here to hang out with Eric at FNA Cycles for a while. All right, this is one I really been wanting to show everyone anyway. Yeah, everyone's seen the Glam Ferry, but they ain't seen... Oh, I won't put that on there.
Turn it on.
Yeah, I know the purists will cry when they see this thing, but in my mind, nothing is sacred.
Most of them like it. No, I don't get much hate, but I have got some.
Good.
You know,
fuck them.
There was one thing that was in like some blog thing that in Australia, and like most of the comments were hate comments. It was pretty funny.
And that is a H1? H2 752 stroke. I know the video will not do this bike justice, but I promise you the attention to detail on this thing is beyond my ken. I don't know how he managed to cram 3 expansion chambers in there, but he did. And something you don't see every day on an H2 750. You look at this magneto setup right here. Now that is something else. So when you look at something like this, you guys can stop asking why I'm not trying to weld that XS 650 together myself, and instead I'm taking it to a dude like Eric. And for all you Mad Max rat bike fans, he doesn't just do clean bikes, he does dirty ones too. What year is this one?
73.
You don't see a whole lot of boxer choppers or bobbers, whatever you want to call it. But when they're done and they're done right, they are freaking cool. Just because that boxer engine already looks Mad Max as fuck. Start putting those crazy carburetors on it like that. Make it look wild as hell. It looks like something out of a steampunk nightmare. That's fucking cool. Look at that shit. That's the rear brake right there. And yes, it is functional. You want to look at this engineering right here? So that's the shaft drive. Comes out into here with the rear brake. Go over to this side where it goes to the chain to the rear wheel. You talk about engineering, that is just cool as shit. Guarantee you ain't never seen nothing like that on a motorcycle before. Just over here joking about this bike. It's a show bike you never have to clean. How convenient is that? And of course, the bike that everybody already knows, the Glam Fairy. The Magneto trend continues. How cool is that? This whole Magneto carb setup on this thing is so fucking wild. That's fucking cool. I don't know if this is gonna show up on camera. You look in there and you can actually see the gears that turn the magnetos.
Oh yeah.
All right, we're not gonna do it today because I don't want to take up too much of his time, but talking with Eric, we're gonna make a video here pretty soon where we stick some GoPros on his helmet. I'm gonna follow him around. We're actually gonna do some riding videos on the Glam Fairy so you guys can see this is not just a showpiece. Believe it or not, that is a functional motorcycle, and we're gonna prove it. Oh shit, we can't leave without seeing the Triumph.
Those handlebars are stupid.
They are a little bit stupid.
That's the point. You want a bike that's so unrideable that you can leave the keys in it and nobody's gonna steal it because they kill themselves within the first block. I love that. Leave the bike on. Go ahead, try and move it down the road, motherfucker. You won't get far. I'm sure there is just a whole rash of people who are frothing at the mouth waiting for me to get that XS 650 finish just so they can tell me how bad it sucks. What's funny is that's the point. Choppers are supposed to suck. They're just supposed to look good while they're doing it. In my mind, the whole point of a chopper is to have a machine that looks so ridiculous you'd think it'd never be able to move down the road, and it's hard as hell to make it do it, but you can. Basically the complete opposite of this bike. Even though I do actually really love the way this bike looks because I love things that are fuck ugly, this bike is all about function over form. And with the chopper, it is all 100% form over function. Anyway, just up there finalizing a few things with Eric, and we are actually picking up the Yamaha XS 650 next week. So that will be back in the garage. We're gonna start making videos about it soon. We're putting it all back together and we're gonna make it run. And once we have it completely running and moving down the road and shifting and stopping and doing everything that it's supposed to do, we're gonna take it all back apart again. But don't worry, I'm gonna bring you guys along for the whole process.